Hey everybody, what's going on? So today in this video, got my camera on and we are going to do a little bit of a in-depth episode slash lure review slash a lure debut. So I have this brand new worm. I call it the Wrangler worm. Looks really nice going through the water. There it is right there. It's a 7-inch ribbon tail bait. This one here is in white with little, I think this is a 3/8 ounce or a 1/4 ounce shaky head. Looks really nice going through the water. Has a boatload of action. So I have 3 different ways that I have right here that I like to fish it. The shaky head, or actually I guess there's 4. The shaky head, another way, is on the back of a swim jig. We'll go right over here real quick and I'll show you guys the action it has on the back of a swim jig. The action is crazy on the back of a swim jig. It looks awesome. And who knows, might even get a couple bites. Might even get a fish to bite and hook up. But we'll get down here, let you guys see it coming through the water right there. You guys can see it has a ton of action on the back of a swim jig. I've also tried this out on a chatterbait. It also has a ton of action on a chatterbait as well. It looks really good on the back of a swim jig. I've thrown it around here a few times, but I also just weed eated here, so it's a little bit hard to throw some of these faster moving baits through the grass. There's a little bit of grass in the pond because of the weed eating that I done yesterday, and there's also some leaves from the high winds that we've had here in the past few days. But yesterday I decided I was going to try this on a swim jig just to see how it looked. And it looked insanely good, and I actually had a fish come up and grab it right at the bank. I was sitting there looking at the design and looking how it looked through the water, and it looks really good. Now, it is a long tail on this bait. It's a 7-inch worm, so it'll be a pretty good sized fish to hit this on a swim jig. But you guys can see there, a shaky head also is an awesome way to fish this. I also have this one right here. This here is a Texas rig, just a normal Texas rig. Now, the way I've got this thing on is I have a 1/0 straight, just round bend little worm hook with it. Now, I do suggest you use the smaller of the EWGs. Now, you don't have to go all the way down to a 1/0 like I did. I just went down to a 1/0 just to probably get a few more bites and be able to unhook the fish a little bit easier. I find that smaller hooks help you unhook the fish a lot easier because you don't have to force that barb right back through the hole that you made with the point of the hook. Now, I have already caught a fish on this, and my uncle, I gave some of these to him the other day when we was out fishing, and he was actually able to catch, I think he ended up catching 3 or 4 fish on this worm. He used a couple different colors. He used root beer. He also used the clear shad, which is basically just clear plastic with silver and blue flake in it. And he also used a chartreuse with a little bit of silver flake in it. But these things come through the water. They have a ton of action. Look super awesome on the bottom. Some of you guys who are friends with me on Facebook have already seen that this thing has caught fish. The very first day I made these baits, I actually was able to catch a good little 1.5 pound fish on it. I was using it in the electric blue color, and it actually worked really well. It was my 3rd cast with this little worm after I made the first one, and it worked. It got bit. This thing has an awesome swimming action. I personally like it either Texas rigged or the way that I'm getting ready to show you here in a little bit. We'll make a few flips over here in the shallower water and see if there's any bass. It was a small bluegill. We'll pitch it around here a few times, and then I'll go get one of my other favorite ways to fish it. I'll go ahead and reel up and make a cast over on the other side of that brush and I'll just swim it back towards me. It looks a lot like a little snake going through the water, and that actually helps with the way that I'm getting ready to show you how I fish it. This is the way that my uncle was catching them yesterday. He was using just a normal 3/0 EWG hook and just fishing him weightless, casting them out and just watching his line. All of a sudden the line will just take off. That's how he was fishing them. But another way that I like to fish them is on the surface. And I really like this bait because it is a very versatile bait. You can put it on the back of a swim jig like I showed you. You can Texas rig it, you can Carolina rig it. But one of the more versatile ways that I've seen that you can fish it is on the top of the water. Sort of like a buzzing frog. Or a buzzing snake. There it is, that's root beer color there. I got some silver flake in there as well. Now, obviously, with just a weightless little worm like this, you'd have to throw it on spinning gear, but it comes through that grass super well. You guys can see I'm just buzzing it straight through all that grass and leaves and everything, not having any problems at all, just coming through that grass real slowly. I think this thing would be awesome on mats of grass. If where you fish has a lot of matted grass, you can fish this thing super effectively through that mat, just really slowly swimming on the surface. I'll try to get a close-up of how it looks going through the water real slow. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. Okay, so try to do a close-up. I don't know how well it turned out. There's a lot of gnats trying to fly in my eyes, so I couldn't really see how well it looked in the camera, but it looks really good, just buzzing it really slowly across the surface. I've seen a lot of pictures here lately on Facebook and just in general on Google and stuff of people catching bass with snakes in their throat. And this thing looks just like a little snake buzzing across the surface. And I think that if you can get to a small pond, maybe back in the woods where there would be a lot of snakes that them bass would be eating, I think this thing would be insanely good. Just weightless rigged. Now the way that my uncle was fishing it, he was actually just casting it out like that and just letting it fall real slowly. Just like so. Now I'm using a little bit smaller hook than he was, so it has a little bit slower fall rate. But he just let it real slowly fall. And it seemed like just about every cast he would either miss one or he would catch one. And he was using this color here, which is just root beer with a little bit of silver flake. Or he was also using the crystal shad and chartreuse with silver flake. And they have an awesome action. Honestly, I can't even get over the action that they have on the surface. Uh-oh, that's up in the tree. And it got out. Awesome. I was wondering why the bait never hit the bank, or never hit the water. I was trying to cast it over onto the bank so I could just reel it off of there real slow. Make it look like a little snake getting in the water, but ended up getting up in that tree. But yeah, that's one of my other favorite ways of fishing it. Hey, looky there, there's something hit the surface. I didn't even hear it. We'll cast over there and let it fall real slow. The way he was fishing it though, he was just watching the line. Just letting it fall real slow, and all of a sudden he'd see the line just start swimming off. Or he'd see the line jump and he would just set the hook. So I hope you guys like this video. This kind of a lure debut. It's a brand new bait called the Wrangler worm by Doc's Lure Company. If you don't know what Doc's Lure Company is, I'll go ahead and say it here while I'm fishing. Doc's Lure Company is a company that I own and operate by myself. All the baits that you buy from here are only held by one person, and only one person only, except for you, and that's me. I'm the only person that ever, even most of the time, only person to even see your baits until you get them yourself. Made right here in Illinois. They ain't made in a different country where you don't know how many people have been holding your baits and how many people have been messing with the packaging and all that. One person takes them, makes them, puts them in a packaging, puts them in the sending envelope, and then sends them out to you directly. You can buy them on PayPal, through PayPal. $4 a pack. In this bait, or with this bait here, you get 10, or actually 12, sorry. You get 12 in each pack. They're 7-inch ribbon tail worms. They are awesome baits, very versatile. Same thing with all the Doc's Lure Company baits. $4 a pack. Stepped on that leaf, scared me a little bit. $4 a pack. They're a lot cheaper than 99% of the companies that you find, and you know exactly where these baits came from because they come straight from me to you. So thank you guys for watching. Once again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you would, share this video on Facebook, Twitter, or wherever you can. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers, and I will be doing a big giveaway once I hit that. So thank you guys for watching. Bye.